So, let's talk about House of Wax from 2005, a movie that people love to dunk on, mostly because Paris Hilton was in it, but here's the thing, it's actually a damn fun horror flick. Gory, creepy, atmospheric, and way better than it ever got credit for. Now, I know what you're thinking. Remaking a 1953 Vincent Price classic as a mid-2000s slasher with a cast of hot 20-somethings doesn't sound like a recipe for greatness. But House of Wax surprised me, and today, I'm here to tell you why it deserves way more love than it gets. Let's dive in. Let's start with the basics. You got your standard slasher setup, 6 friends on a road trip to a big football game. But of course, things go south when their car mysteriously breaks down near an abandoned town. Now at first glance, this sounds like Texas Chainsaw Massacre blueprint, and yeah, you can feel the DNA of the film in House of Wax. But instead of just another run-down town with a crazy family attacking them, we get something way creepier, in my opinion. An entire town where people aren't people at all. They're wax figures, and some of them, yeah, used to be real. That is a sick premise. The idea that people are literally turned into wax statues, frozen in time, trapped in an eerie, decaying museum. God knows what they only look like underneath. It's unsettling as hell. If I had to compare it, I would say it's kind of like Tourist Trap meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre with a Silent Hill aesthetic. Not tone or atmosphere, but aesthetic. And we all know what a good slasher needs. Great kills. And for the time, House of Wax absolutely delivers. Wade gets fully waxed, literally, seeing his body completely encased, eyes still moving about while he's unable to scream. Nightmare fuel. Blake takes a brutal stab to the neck while blasting music in his car. Classic slasher move. Paige gets impaled through the forehead with a pipe, and let's be real, this moment was marketing strategy. The movie literally promoted itself with "Watch Paris Die." But credit to where it's due, her chase scene was pretty solid and creepy. And then let's go back to talking about Wade. His face gets sliced off in a brutal scene. And of course, the entire meltdown of the Wax Museum at the end, the movie doesn't hold back on its practical effects, and the kills are both gruesome and visually creative. If you're a horror fan who loves over-the-top slasher violence, this movie's a pretty big goldmine. The movie also looks fantastic. For a mid-2000s slasher, House of Wax certainly has some incredible atmosphere. The abandoned town is hauntingly quiet, the Wax Museum itself feels creepy, and the way everything is covered in dust, decay, and candlelit eeriness is just, chef's kiss. And then there's the grand finale, the museum literally melting all around our final girl as she fights to survive. Watching the walls drip and collapse as the wax figures melt into grotesque deformed shapes, that's basically horror art. It's tense while having a fun element to it. Okay, let's talk about the bad guys, because this movie doesn't just throw us some random mass killers. The real threats here are Beau and Vincent Sinclair, twin brothers who run a twisted wax museum. Beau is the charming psychopath, pretending to be helpful before revealing his true sadistic nature. But Vincent is the real nightmare. His half-waxed face and silent menace, the way he moves, dude is terrifying. And the fact that he's actually a tragic character manipulated by his brother makes him more than just your standard slasher villain. Plus, the twist ending about their backstory, not mind-blowing by any means, but it adds an extra layer to the film. They aren't just evil for the sake of being evil, they're a product of abuse, obsession, and generational trauma. That is honestly way more than most 2000 slashers attempt. So, if I think House of Wax is so awesome, why did it flop with critics? Well, for starters, it came out during the height of the horror remake fatigue. Between Texas Chainsaw, Dawn of the Dead, the Amityville Horror, and The Hills of Eyes, people were skeptical of yet another reboot. And let's be real, Paris Hilton's casting made people automatically dismiss it. But honestly, she's totally fine in the movie. She plays her role well, and her death scene is actually one of the most memorable scenes. To me, critics just didn't appreciate the fun, gory, stylish slashers. But over time, us horror fans have started to see House of Wax for what it really is. A fucking blast. Now look, I'm not saying House of Wax is a masterpiece. It's not redefining horror or changing cinema at all. But what it is fun. It's gory, it's suspenseful, it has a great cast, and goes way harder than you expect. The setting is creepy, the kills are brutal, and the finale is one of the best endings of mid-2000s horror, in my opinion. So if you've skipped House of Wax because of the bad reviews, or because you thought it was just another dumb remake, give it a shot. You might be surprised with how damn entertaining it actually is. But what do you guys think? Do you love House of Wax, or do you think it's just another forgettable horror slasher? Drop a comment below, and if you liked this video, or if you didn't like this video, hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell to stay up to date with all the horror content I have coming your way. Stay scared, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.